Greetings, it's your internet pal Shred Durst, and today I'm going to do something that people have been asking me to do for a long time. We're going to walk through how I approach creating a tone that I think is sick as f***. The reason it's taken me so long to do this is because I feel like this is a very personal and a very subjective thing. What one person thinks is sick, another person will think sounds like absolute trash. And so this is kind of all up to your personal preference. I'm hoping what this tutorial does is helps you get to a starting position for each one of these tools and gives you techniques beyond that to kind of help you use your ears and your brain to tweak the tone into a place that feels great underneath your fingers and allows you to expand on this later when you find some of the things that you like. So here's our tone. So for this tutorial, we're going to be using the 7 string. I know a lot of you use a 6 string, but this is a 6 string. It's an E flat, but it's in standard increments. So this string right here, that's E on your 6 string. I'm going to use this so that everyone can join in on this tutorial and use these techniques. Just know that if you have a 6 string or a 7 string or even an 8 string, you're going to be able to use this to help you get to the right tone and get something that makes you enjoy playing your guitar more. And because I know a lot of you out there are going to go, oh, he's using EMGs. I'm going to also do this with this Pegasus Sentient set on this other guitar. This is the exact same tuning, okay? And really, they're very similar. In any case, whether you're using a passive pickup or using an active pickup, it's not going to make that big of a difference. All right, so let's wipe a slate clean and see how we got to this tone. All right, as you can see, I've started with a blank page here, and I'm using the Hot Tone Ampero 2. I use this for all my videos, I use this for live playing, but this should apply to most, if not all, modelers out there on the market. Every one of them is pretty much in the same kind of lane as this, where you're gonna have like an amp, an IR, some pedals, some EQ, and stuff like that. So this should pretty much apply to anything and get you kind of on the road. But if you want the exact tones that I'm getting, go check out Hot Tone. You want to check this out and check out other stuff I'm using, go to my Sweetwater affiliate link, bring you to a landing page that has all my stuff on there. This will be on there. So I'm starting with a blank page, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a gate on there because I'm going to turn the threshold up right away, but I like having that gate on there. We can turn it off to start. I think we'll probably throw an IR on here, and I have an IR that I have been using. There it is. It's of my Mesa. I really like that one. The IR is important, and you can buy packs of these from people. The ones that are on this Hot Tone are fantastic. The IR is a big thing, but if you're trying to get something close to what I'm using, I would grab like a 412, like Mesa, Bogner kind of cab, something like that. So this is our starting point. All right, let's pull up an amp. Let's go to the high gain section and see what we got here. I mean, that sounds pretty cool, but it's just not exactly what I'm looking for. It's like I need something with a little bit more kind of girth to it to start with. So I want to start with something that's a little bit more round and fat and has more of a tubby bottom on it. and something that's more spiky on the high, because we're going to kind of lop that bottom off a little bit and remove some of the 2 to 300, or like really like the 280 to like 315, and the kind of like tubby kind of sound. Kind of sounds like you're hitting the side of like a Rubbermaid bucket. We want that to be gone. This is already kind of starting with not that much bass. If we go and boost this is going to get really whiny sounding. So that might be cool for some stuff. That's not what we're trying to do. Okay, so you see this is I think this is a model of an SLO. See how much more low end is in there? How that's like almost too much, and it's kind of overpowering our situation here. So in the mid-range strings, which is like E standard here, it could also use a little bit of shaping, but you could play with that. The lower string is really what I'm paying attention to a lot on this. The overall tone of this sounds pretty cool, but the low end is just too much, and it's kind of overpowering the signal, giving it kind of like a fuzzy distortion in the low end, which is not very pleasant, and it doesn't have any attack. So, okay, and the amp itself, this is pretty cool, but you can hear it's just still. You could totally play rock music with this, or like post-hardcore, or a lot of different styles you could stop right here, and you'd be totally fine. Like in that E standard kind of drop D sound, this would be very good. Like for the slow B string. And anything below that, we're going to want to sharpen that up. And really, I would like the whole thing to sharpen up quite a bit. So the tried and true method for doing that for a long time now is to boost the front of the input and saturate it more. So the input of the amp is going to act like a limiter in which we are going to push up against it all of the frequencies, and they're all going to kind of get stopped by it, which is going to balance things out. You can already tell there's some noise starting to happen, so I'm going to turn on this gate. And let's go ahead, and in front of the amp, let's put a drive pedal. This is the green drive that's in here. This should be like a 808, like Ibanez. That's like a huge difference. All that low end that was overpowering the input is now perceivably lower. I like this. It's still a bit fuzzy, and that's because this starts off with some gain on it. So let's take that gain out of there, because we don't need any extra gain. Okay, see how that cleaned up? So that low end that was overpowering the input is now balanced with everything. We're getting the attack that we would get in like a standard tuning on our low string. So, what have we done so far? We have chosen an amp that's a little bit more fat, with a little bit more spiky highs. We did kind of a loose adjustment on the EQ just to get started. And now we have boosted the input. And we really haven't done much of that pedal, and we're already kind of in the right territory. I'm going to kind of chug on a string, and I'm just going to kind of move some of these around. There's a tone adjustment on this, and there's a volume. The volume is the amount of level going in to the input of the amp, and so it's going to drastically kind of change how it affects our playing. So I mean, that feels great. It's nice and responsive, but it's not noisy. So since we're using a modeler, we can get a little bit more surgical on the low end and get rid of some of the crappy resonant tones that are in the high end, keeping this from sounding like 100% recordable. And we're gonna remove some of this stuff, and I'm gonna show you how to do that in a second. And this is really gonna clean everything up. This is gonna give you a pro sounding guitar tone that you can use just right into your DAW. You won't even have to do anything to it. So inside of the Amp Hero, we're going to go to EQ. All right, and we're going to go down to a parametric EQ, and this EQ2 has a bunch of these in here. Okay, so like I said, right between like 280, 290, we're just going to do like let's do a 285, you know, and then we'll set the Q somewhere in the middle here. Okay, we want it to be pretty sharp, but let's check it out. So there's our sound. And then the gain for that is right here. So if we turn that up, we can hear what it sounds like. That's the sound that I'm talking about when I say tubby. And we don't want that removed completely, but we need to balance it a little bit more, and I think it's still a little bit too high. It's keeping this low string from having enough definition. Now I'll show you what it sounds like when you remove too much. Check it out. Now you just have this like weird... You can always tell when you've removed a frequency too much because it just sounds so unbalanced. In this realm of like distorted guitar, you'll just hear this like fuzz. So if it starts to sound really fuzzy, you've just gone too far. All right, so let's put that back to 0. Also, make sure you're also testing like the high notes and stuff. Make sure they're not getting super thin and weird. They still should have enough bass to every single string. That's sounding pretty good. Let's move on to some others. Our next frequency I want to try to get rid of is another main offender that I hate. And that is right around 25 to 24, somewhere in here. And let's listen to what that one sounds like, dude. That's just the worst. See, now that is what I'm talking about, the swirling sound. That's what happens when you turn up your amp at the venue and you haven't addressed these problems. Because this will just turn up and it will just take over everything. It makes it really unbearable to be at the front of the stage when you have a cab up there. What are we going to do? We're going to remove this. Go too far again. Everything starts sounding kind of fuzzy and weird, so let's not go too far. I think that sounds great. Let's move on to another one. Okay, I think there's another one that I hate that we're gonna do, and that's 3.4. 3,400 hertz, bitch. Let's just hook that up. So like somewhere around 3.4. Let's go ahead and check out what that sounds like, huh? So by turning the gain up on that one frequency, we're kind of going to become hyper aware to it. See, it's just a really painful sound. But we don't want to remove it all the way. We just want to balance it with the other ones so that it's not out front like it is right now. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And then there's one more that everyone hates, and that is 4K. This is a well-known, hated frequency. Nobody seems to like this when it's too loud. Again, it's part of our full spectrum of sound. We want to keep it in there. We don't want to remove it all the way. But it doesn't need to be as loud as it is right now. And this one sounds like this. It's another one of these like hissing, kind of swirling noises, and when you have all of these kind of fighting with each other, it just kind of ruins the guitar tone live. So all right, so let's go back out, and I'm actually that sounds great. Great definition. All the notes are coming through. Alright, so that all sounds really, really good. But I did turn down the gain a little bit. SLO just has a little bit of a fuzz to it you can't get rid of. Let's listen to what the boost and the EQ are doing. So first, let's go in here and let's listen to this without the boost or the EQ. Still sounds good. Okay, now let's listen what the boost did. Really just kind of adding that saturation, and then let's listen to what the EQ does. Let's take the EQ and bring it in a little bit. Now I'm listening to this, I kind of want to back some of this off. I think I'm going to back this off a bit. These all sound like they might be on a little hot. So I went and removed some of that stuff because it felt like it was lacking bite. That feels a lot better. Okay, let's go back in here and let's do that again. So let's take this EQ in and out. So you can see now that I've made you hypersensitive to those frequencies. It's probably all you can hear right now. Now, taking those back out, we can just really hear all the musical sounds that are in there. Again, and I went a little too far, and then I went back and A-beat it, and you should do that too. because while you're inside messing with something for a while, your ears and your brain can kind of get lost. It's a good thing to back all the way out, turn it on and off, and see if you've went too far, and then make some fine-tune adjustments. Same with the boost. I'm not sure this is the right boost for this, so I'm gonna go back in. Let's take a look at what other boosts might be available in here. That kind of already sounds better. This is like a T9. So this is a tone I'd be more than comfortable taking in a battle. Yeah. Alright, this was pretty fun. I really enjoyed making this tone. If you guys like this stuff, let me know in the comments, man. I would love to do some more of these. If there's other stuff you want to see, pedals, or I have real amps and cabs, I have all that stuff. It would be cool to do some more tone videos. And if you're going to buy a fine product like this Hot Tone Ampero 2, maybe you need to pick up some strings, like these fine Stringjoy signatures, made right here in the USA. Or maybe you're going to pick up a new guitar. Use my Sweetwater affiliate link. They give me a little cut of it, and that helps keeps me going. This stuff is a lot of work. I want to thank everyone who supports me in any way. But especially, I want to thank all the people on Patreon who support me month after month and help keep me going making these videos. All right, if you want more of these, let me know, like I said, and if you want to see other stuff, just type it into the comments.